Hi, this poem is called Changing Lenses. It's written for this week's Poems About Prompt on Blue Sky, Never Again. Now, I don't mean to disparage or discount anyone's military service or sacrifice, but I do question a society in which you can only be heroic if you carry a gun or wear a uniform. Changing lenses. My dad didn't own one pair of jeans, and I rarely even saw him in khakis. He did yard work in his army pants because they had extra pockets and they still fit into middle age. Younger me was embarrassed when my uncles and the other kids' fathers narrated war stories or grimly griped of bodies bearing embedded shrapnel. Theirs was the stuff of family legends. My dad reminisced about watching Willie Mays hit home runs at Fort Eustis, or feasting on cheap steak and beer at some Gasthaus or other while on leave. From what I gather, he passed the fluency test and spent the Korean War in Germany, driving spies and informants around and running the officers' club, where he had a side gig selling bootleg cigarettes. Once I asked him, "So you were what, Radar O'Reilly?" And he said, "I suppose so." His buddy signed the wrong petition, got dropped from that cushy program, was sent to Korea, and didn't return home the same man. Dad bought a Leica camera and a 7x35 Zeiss binoculars, which still work great. Once I told him my Uncle John had a pair of 10x50 service binoculars that he traded for with a German in World War II. Dad made a sour face and spat back, "Give me a break. Do you really think the infantry makes trades on the battlefield?" In retrospect, he was certainly no dope, but I'd never call my dad a hero, especially in the decades when his drinking made our house a war zone of its own. Still, there is some solace in knowing his war souvenirs were bought with greenbacks and marks rather than bullets and blood.